Hey all, this is Professor Steve from Grand Canyon University, and today's video here I just wanted to do a real quick one on a deep dive of user accounts in Active Directory. So taking the next step from the introduction to Active Directory users' computers, this is kind of that next logical step. So in the last video we created a user account, John Doe here, but really just basic details, nothing real crazy going on there. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to create as soon as it signs me in here, sorry, apologize. I'll go ahead and create a new group, a security group. Here in Active Directory, we'll just call this, so this is Memphis, so Memphis users, something like that. So it's a global group, as based on the information, from the previous video on explaining the difference between domain local, global, and universal. I only have the one domain, so global is perfectly fine. Security and distribution. A security group is actually something you can apply permissions to, whereas a distribution group is something more along the lines of what you would see in an Exchange environment. So basically, a distribution group is a group of users that you can basically send an email to one account and it sends it to everybody. That's the type of thing. So I've created a global group just to make sure we're on the same page. If you double click it, you can get in here information. Members, it shows you who the members of this group are. The member of tab basically says, hey, this group is a member of another group. You can nest groups. That's what's called nesting. If you have a group inside a group, it's called nesting. And that's an easy way of assigning permissions across multiple platforms, is nesting groups. So we'll go into the user account John Doe created. So we like I said, barely touched the surface as far as user object fields. So I just wanted to get in here real quick. So description kind of shows you here in the column on the left. That description is indicative of this person. So this could be like Memphis. Memphis IT analyst or something like that. Office is obviously Memphis. Can't spell Memphis today. Telephone number, you could put something in. 217-555-1234, something like that. Type today. Email address, jdoe@gcuinstructor.net, just to have something there. You hit apply, and then all those fields are added in there. Address, again, you could do this 1234 John Doe Lane, Phoenix, Arizona. Oops. There's a field for that one, so we just want to hear Phoenix, Arizona. Not sure on the zip code. That's just some extra information in here to help you out. Logon hours is important, so you can basically specify when a user can log onto the network. Right now, blue means log on permitted. So if I say didn't want this person to be able to log in all the times that they wanted, maybe they're an 8 to 5 person, I might come over here, drag around here, say log on denied. So, and then come over here, log on denied, and it's like I said, 8 to 5, they're never going to work overtime. And it says down here what you've highlighted, Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. And we'll just take out Saturday here. Okay, so basically, this person can only log in 8 to 5, if I highlight this all here, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They cannot log in a minute earlier, so that's kind of one of those iffy areas there where maybe if they're required to get in and be signed into all their applications before they start their day, maybe you need to move this to, add the 7:30 type of thing, or the 7 o'clock. So 7 to 8, this gives them time to log in early, get everything ready to go. and maybe they work 8 to 12 on Saturday, and so we'll add this 7 o'clock to give them time to get logged in. So once you set those, you just click OK, and then their logon hours are specified. If you have the account expires area is kind of handy if you are dealing with temporary employees or employees that are quitting their job and they're going somewhere else, but they need to have their account active until they're gone, but not past. So you can do that. Basically, just say end of, and that's end of the day on such and such a date. So I want to say this person's account expires on let's see, it's looking at March. So let's the 16th or something like that. So as of that time, the account doesn't get deleted. It just won't be accessible after that time period. So, and you can do that for, like I said, a temporary employee, a vendor that's doing work on your system. In the banking world, we have auditors coming in all the time. So we'll set an account up for them, have it expire at a certain time. That way they can't log in after the fact. So on the profile tab, login scripts here, you can basically specify a script that will run every time that user logs in. Basically, initially, it won't do it whenever they just lock their computer for lunch, came back, that type of thing. But login script is really handy if there's a certain set of printers that you want them to have initially, or if you want them to have a mapped drive or something like that. Every day whenever they log in, you can run a script. You can write a script for that person and have it done that way. The local path is the home folder. So like if you wanted to have somebody have an H drive for a home folder, and go from there. So connect to as the same principle as a map drive. You can specify that right there without actually having to write a script essentially. So telephones, put any information in here. You can add some notes if you want to. In fact, like at the bank, we use the mobile field to specify if a user is eligible to have their Office 365 email added to their mobile device, whether it be iPhone or Android or whatever. We basically run a script to say, hey, Office 365, if they don't have a mobile field, don't let them have the email. So you can do a lot of these things where you can kind of integrate fields in their user object to overall permissions and accessibility. So organization, you can certainly set up job titles. This, like I said, this guy's an IT analyst. Department is IT. Company is GCU instructors. And I can't do the manager name because I only have one computer or the one user right now. So one of the things you want to make sure is that these fields are very identical across the board. So if for the department of one person, you've set it as IT, you don't want to set the next one as information technology. Same for the company. Make sure they're all the same. And job title, whatever. You don't have to worry about that one as far as it being consistent. Let's see here. Member of is the next big one. This is basically saying John Doe is a member of these, and in this point it'd be groups. So if I wanted to, there's two ways that I can add a user to a group. I can do it from here, and it says to add, and I can do an advanced and find now, and that will just get everything in the domain. Everything that I created that is a group, and this is where it's searching for is group or built-in security principles. So if I come down here, I can find my Memphis users group that I created and click OK. I'm not going to do it here because I want to actually do it on another way to show you the different direction. But if I wanted to say it starts with Memphis, find now, it would just find just the one thing I was looking for. Locations is basically saying, hey, where am I looking at? If you had multiple domains, then you would have multiple domains listed here that you could choose from. So this is a deal where you wanted to add users or groups from another domain, then you could do that. So like I said, I'm not going to do this here. I'll do it in another location. But right now, domain users is the default. Whenever you create a new user, it automatically adds it to domain users, and then life is good there. Let's see, environment. Yeah, some of these other things we don't really get into too much on a normal day-to-day basis, but things that you might want to check out at some point. So we'll click OK, and again, got some fields in here now. There's life's good. So if I wanted to, so that other way to add a user to a group, I can right click on John Doe here and I say add to a group, and I say I want to advance. We can come back here and do the same search as we did before. Fine. Now double click it. See, it's going to have it in there. I could have typed the same thing in, so let's try that. Memphis users. Check names. Hit check names here. It just verifies, hey, what are you looking for? And okay. And it'll say user, the add to group operation was completed successfully. When I go into the group, members, now I have John Doe listed there. Members of is still not listed, but this one I could do as well. I could say server operators. I didn't even type in the whole thing, but I do a check name, and it'll kind of complete it for me. So now John Doe is a member of the Memphis user group, and the Memphis users group is nested inside the server operators group. So by extension, John Doe has the same permissions as server operators because he's nested in a group of another group. So that's pretty much the deep dive here as far as users and groups. You can create as many users and groups. I don't even know the number. It's a big number of how many users can be in Active Directory, how many groups can be in Active Directory. So those are the big key principles for this video. Like I said, I just wanted to go over that real quick so everybody knew how to add a group, how to add a user, how to add a user to a group to a group, and then that should take care of that. So that's all I've got. So we'll see you next time.